guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Erin and this is the Scenic Route Traveler. This week I'm in the Seattle Pacific Northwest area heading to Olympic National Park, Mount Rainier, and Seattle to check out the areas because I've never been and I'm very excited. So I'm out here in Olympic National Park area. I'm here for about 2 days, stopping along at different points along the route that you can take from Olympia and kind of go around to Fork, Port Angeles, and everywhere and anywhere in between. Olympic National Park isn't just one park. It's a collection of worlds all packed into one stretch of the Washington coast. In just a few days, you can wander from misty rainforests to rugged beaches, from glacier-capped peaks to tide pools full of life. That's what makes this place so special. No two corners feel the same. And in this video, I'm taking you along for my days here, walking through some of the park's most iconic spots and showing you what makes this place worth adding to your Pacific Northwest bucket list. Hey guys, I'm out in Olympia, Washington today, where I'm heading to Olympic National Park for the next couple days. I just got in late last night. I'm staying at an Airbnb. Got in late, rented a car, drove here, stayed the night, and now heading out to check out the downtown Olympia for some breakfast, and then heading out to Olympic National Park where I'm going to go to Hoh Rain Forest. I'm going to go to some of the beaches along the highway, stop in Fork, Washington, and then end up in Port Angeles where I'll be staying the night as well. I'm at a cafe here in Olympia in Washington called New Moon Cafe. It seems to be really good and they have a lot of good vegan options, so I highly recommend if you're here in Olympia to stop by and have breakfast here. So I'm just on the beach that is near the Tree of Life, and it's super easy to get to from the parking lot. It's probably a 2-minute walk down some stairs, and right near there is the Tree of Life. The beach itself is also super stunning. I think I'll just spend a little time looking at the ocean, and I recommend it's a quick stop on your kind of route through Olympic National Park. Just outside the town of Forks, there's a tree that shouldn't exist, but somehow does. Known as the Tree of Life, it clings to the earth even though the ground beneath it has washed away. Its roots are completely exposed, yet it's still alive. Stretching toward the sky, it's one of those natural oddities you have to see to believe, and it's become quite a symbol of resilience for anyone who visits. So after the Tree of Life, I'm now heading to Ruby Beach to check it out. I've heard really good things, so that will be a little bit down the road from Tree of Life. I'm now out here at Ruby Beach, and it's just down the road from where I was at the Tree of Life. And so far it's beautiful. I'm just taking the walkway down to where the beach is to get a better vantage point, but it's stunning. Pacific Northwest is the perfect combination. If you love the beach and you love being in the woods and the wilderness, the two together, married into the two, is stunning. Ruby Beach is one of the most photographed spots in Olympic National Park, and it's easy to see why. Massive sea stacks rise out of the ocean, driftwood covers the shore, and at low tide, tide pools shimmer with starfish and anemones. Even on cloudy days, the beach has its wild, dramatic beauty that feels straight out of a movie. It's the kind of place where you could spend hours exploring, taking photos, or just sitting back to watch the waves crash endlessly against the rocks. Make sure to get to Hoh Rainforest National Park earlier than I am. I'm here at 2:30 and I've been sitting in a long line of cars just to get to the place to buy a pass. So recommend if you're coming on a weekend, or I'm on a Friday on Labor Day weekend, to get here early because you're going to be stuck in a long line of cars, which is no fun. At least it's beautiful. It's surrounded by the moss trees, but just keep that in mind if you're visiting. Might as well, when you're stuck in standstill traffic trying to get into Hoh Rain Forest, might as well eat your burrito if you're just gonna sit here. If you're coming to Hoh National Rainforest, it's only about an hour outside of Fork, Washington, and then a few hours outside of Olympia or Port Angeles, which if you're staying in either area. I will be staying in Port Angeles tonight, and then I was in Olympia this last night, so it's pretty easy to get to, only a few hours from either of those bigger locations. So I'm at the Hoh National Rainforest doing the Hall of Mosses Trail. It's only about 0.8 miles round trip, so it's not too bad. Elevation gain, really not too bad at all. It's absolutely stunning and lives up to the hype as one of the most popular trails to do here in Hoh National Rainforest. We somehow got really lucky and have a completely blue sky day, no rain, actually quite warm today. Usually this rainforest gets pretty rainy given all the moss, so really glad to be here today when it's nice. I'm now just at Rialto Beach, which is just about 20 minutes outside of Forks, Washington. You can also hike to the hole in the wall spot, which is about 3 or 3.5 miles down the beach. And yeah, it's beautiful. I'm looking forward to eating my dinner and enjoying the sun go down. So, at Rialto Beach, which is about 20 minutes outside of Forks, Washington, and this is also where you can walk to the hole in the wall. It's about 1.5 miles in and then 1.5 miles back. I'm just going to sit and enjoy the sun going down and eating my dinner. I'm getting a little bit tired. I still have to head to my Airbnb in Port Angeles, but I would recommend coming here to have a picnic or go to the hole in the wall spot down the beach as well. Rialto Beach feels raw and untamed. The waves hit harder here, and the piles of driftwood are stacked like giant matches. If you keep walking north along the shore, you'll eventually reach Hole in the Wall, which is a natural sea arch carved by centuries of tides. And along the way, you'll pass tide pools, seabirds, and maybe even spot seals offshore. It's the kind of hike that shows off the park's rugged coastline, and even if you don't make it all the way to the arch, just being out here makes you feel small in the best way. just stopped at the most beautiful lake on the way to Port Angeles for my Airbnb, and I just had to stop and take some photos. It's stunning, it's golden hour, and I couldn't ask for a better end to day one. Let's start to day 2 of my Seattle Pacific Northwest weekend. I stayed the night in Port Angeles in an Airbnb, and now I'm headed to the Hurricane Ridge to see if I can do some hiking over there, because I've heard it's really beautiful, and that road isn't always open for most of the other times of the year. So let's go. Now I'm doing the Sun Ridge Trail that is in the Hurricane Ridge area. It's, I think, only about 1.5 miles, if that, but the views should be really nice of the area in Olympic National Park. Hurricane Ridge is the high countryside of Olympic National Park. It's a complete contrast to the rugged beaches and rainforests below. Up here, the views stretch across snow-capped peaks and deep valleys, and on a clear day, you can even see all the way to Canada. It's a favorite spot for hikers in summer, but even if you just come for the drive, the lookout areas give you a taste of the Alpine world. Deer are often wandering right along the roads or the trails, making the whole experience feel a little more wild. The Hurricane Hill trailhead, and it's supposed to be one of the more beautiful hikes in the area, so I'm very excited. And I've gotten here pretty early, and I genuinely got the last spot in the main parking lot right before the trailhead. So if you want to get a good parking spot, I recommend getting here as early as you can and beating some of the crowds also later in the day on the trails. If you're coming to do the Hurricane Ridge Road or any of the hikes that are on it, I recommend staying near Port Angeles and getting up really early to go do all of them before all the crowds. And this trail and some of the roads up to here are actually closed for most of the year because of snow. So it's a pretty short window that you'll be able to even come up here. So if you're really hoping to do that, I would come sometime in the summer or early fall to be able to do all of this. So I am in the Olympic National Park in Hurricane Ridge Trail. I just kind of stopped off a little bit outside of the trail just to get some photos, a little peace and quiet. The trail's a little bit busier, but I also recommend coming as early as you can because A, it's not as much parking right by the trailhead, and B, you'll have less people near you. And it does get warmer later in the day too. I was in this and feeling fine, but the sun's coming out and it's getting a little bit warmer. But it's absolutely stunning in this park, and I'm really glad that I came. Now I'm here doing the Marymere Falls Trail. I think it's just less than 1 mile to the trail and back. And I've heard it's really beautiful and it's not super hard for a really great view, which after this morning's hike, my legs are feeling it a little bit. So this will be very nice. So I just got done doing the Marymere Falls Trail. I was also planning to, because they're right near each other on the same start of the trailhead, the Trail King hike. But given how hard it is that I've heard and the timing of the day, I decided to skip it and we'll just plan to do it next time.
but the Marymere Falls was gorgeous, pretty easy, and a nice waterfall at the end.
Olympic National Park is one of those places that feels impossible to capture in just one visit. From its wild beaches to its lush forests, every corner shows a different side of the Pacific Northwest. If you're planning a trip to Washington, make sure to carve out a few days here. It is absolutely worth it. So thanks for coming along with me on this venture, and I'll see you in the next scenic route. Thanks for watching and happy travels.